This edition of The Big Match Revisited goes back to early December 1979, when First Division leaders Manchester United travelled to White Hart Lane, facing a resurgent Tottenham. Spurs stars Glenn Hoddle, Ricky Villa and Ossie Ardiles all hoped to entertain a bumper crowd.
And welcome again to The Big Match, and our main match on the programme today attracted the biggest crowd of the weekend because we were amongst the 51,000 crowd who saw Spurs take on Manchester United. And we support that game with Cambridge United against Queen's Park Rangers and finished with one bristling with goals as Manchester City faced Wolverhampton Wanderers. A lot of really great action today, so let's move straight on to our first game, which is that clash between Spurs, who were lying 7th in the table yesterday morning, and the league leaders Manchester United. And such was the pull of this game that some fans slept out all night to be sure of getting a good position, and by 7:30 in the morning a sizable queue had already formed. So as we came towards 3 o'clock, you can be sure there was a real buzz about the place. It seems serene enough across North London there, but here in the stadium at White Hart Lane, well, it's quite different. An enormous crowd, which is to be expected, and on such an occasion White Hart Lane is always a very special place for the passion and the atmosphere in the game. And before the start, a pleasant ceremony for the Spurs manager, Keith Birkinshaw, named as the Bells Whiskies Manager of the Month for October. And first out are Tottenham. To be followed by the league leaders, Manchester United. And on the field, two of the coolest and most talented young men in the English game today. And what a battle for supremacy in midfield is going to be between Glenn Hoddle, such a star for England in his first international against Bulgaria, and what a welcome he got here today, and Ray Wilkins of Manchester United, Glenn's England teammate on that night at Wembley. So the Tottenham team lines up like this. Terry Yorath is missing because he starts a 3-match suspension today, and it could be that Tottenham will miss his example this afternoon, and it's John Pratt who comes into the side in place of Yorath, with Colin Lee the substitute. As for Manchester United, they come, as I say, as league leaders after their 5-0 win last week against Norwich, and there's no doubt that the return of Joe Jordan after a long injury has made such a difference to their strike power. A new name in the defence being Kevin Moran, a 23-year-old Irishman, and he keeps out Gordon McQueen in an unchanged United side. The referee today, it's Alf Gray from Norfolk. And indeed, what an atmosphere to start this game with Manchester United in the red shirts, white shorts, attacking the goal to our left. A difficult wind in the air this afternoon that might well cause a few problems, but certainly both sides in tremendous form at the moment. Spurs having lost only one of the last 11, and that was a 2-1 at Liverpool. Nothing disgraceful about that. Thomas chasing Hoddle, bringing him down. Free kick for Tottenham. Perriman. Jordan winning it in the air. McIlroy testing that side of the field to see where the Koppel can get up, and it's Gordon Smith who's put it back. It's Macari's header, and it's just wide. Wow, what an embarrassing moment that could have been for the Spurs defence, and particularly for their number 5, Gordon Smith. The back pass, and Macari getting in bravely there before Alexic, and so tantalisingly close to a first goal for United. Hoddle finding Houghton. Now McAllister. Jones. It's a Tottenham throw. Ardiles. Now Chris Jones. That's a corner off Martin Buchan. Hoddle with the corner for Tottenham. A deep one there towards Jerry Armstrong. His header taken well though by Gary Bailey. Both Armstrong and Joe Jordan showing their power in the air already. That time Armstrong's header quite comfortably held by Bailey though. Now McElroy played for Grimes. Just in time before he found Kevin Moran. Long ball forward by him. Smith being hustled by Joe Jordan, one spot after another. And it's Jordan showing a lot of aggression and winning that well. Houghton getting it away. Moran up once more. Hoddle, what about that for a ball? Straight to Ricky Villa and played him across the goal, but if either Ardiles or Armstrong had been up a yard or two further, that would have been a beautiful opening. But of course the whole thing was the ball from Hoddle. Look at that, absolutely perfect there across the field for Villa. Offside, Joe Jordan. Good decision by the linesman. There wasn't much in it, but it was the right one. Hoddle. To Houghton. And now Jones. Oh, and it's given away by Buchan, and as well for Manchester United that Bailey was quickly out there to smother that shot from Ardiles. Buchan's mistake, and Ardiles pounced, but Gary Bailey did well. Ardiles again. Played in for Villa. It stopped at the last. Ardiles skipping over Jimmy Nichols' challenge. Jerry Armstrong trying to work it into the middle. Chris Jones out again for Gordon Smith. There's his cross coming in a little lower this time, and a good header by Chris Jones, well saved by Gary Bailey. Slightly different trajectory with that cross from Gordon Smith. Moran playing it forward, trying to set Macari on his way. Played back for Koppel, in for Wilkins. A cross by him, just behind McElroy. And that could have been very dangerous indeed for Tottenham. Instead, it's Spurs coming away with Villa. Played wide here for Hoddle. The game really beginning to open up now. Ardiles. In for John Pratt. Oh, tipped away superbly. Well, Pratt has scored a few spectacular goals from distance during his seasons here at Tottenham, and he very nearly got another one there. Caught it superbly, and a fine piece of keeping up, just clawing it away from the angle there by Bailey. Ardiles trying to get in the box, and again Gary Bailey called him on to save a surprise shot from the little Argentinian, even at the expense of a corner. Oh, Bailey working well at the moment. Here's Houghton, maybe to put more pressure on Manchester United. No, a throw. He was offside in any case. So Dave Sexton, the Manchester United manager, with Tommy Kavanagh, knowing that they are in for a battle this afternoon, and they must have known that even when they were on their way down from Lancashire. An accidental trip, I think, the referee would say that was, by Buchan on Houghton. And an offside trap was being played again, except that it wouldn't have worked The ball went out of play, though. Perryman. Villa. Jones. Ricky Villa again. That's a good ball played for Hoddle. And a beautiful goal by Hoddle. Well, it seems whenever the cameras are around, Glenn Hoddle obliges with something spectacular. But I think Hoddle, as the crowd salute another great goal by this fabulous number 10, I think Glenn himself would be the first to agree that it was Villa's beautifully cut back ball that laid it into the path for him. But my word, what coolness and accuracy in the way he took it. Spurs 1, Manchester United 0. Glenn Hoddle takes his total to 11. So Keith Birkinshaw craning his neck at the back there, the Spurs manager who's pulled this side around after a really disappointing start to this season. But they are superbly on song right now. Armstrong's backward header, Hoddle on his way again. And it's Sammy McElroy getting it away, and Macari. Alexic has come, and Alexic is out of his goal. Macari's gone past. But Gordon Smith was there, and still is not away, because Smith's clearance has gone straight to Koppel. Joe Jordan waiting for it, the header by him, and in the end it was Chris Hughton who had to hook it away. Trouble really for Spurs from the moment that Milja Alexic came out there and couldn't gather up the ball. In the end it was as well for Spurs that Chris Hughton was around to whack that one away for the corner. A corner to be taken by Sammy McElroy. The man who did the saving job for Spurs, Chris Hughton. So McElroy with the corner. Deep one again. And it was fisted away by Alexic. McElroy, in fact, an offside against Mickey Thomas. Hughton. Hoddle. It's going to be a throw for Tottenham. Chris Hughton with it. Osvaldo Ardiles. And Martin Buchan getting it away for Manchester United. Pratt returning it and finding Jones. In turn for Ardiles. And here's Hoddle again. A little back heel by him this time. And Jerry Armstrong clashed there with Kevin Moran. They're both down. Bailey's got the ball and lost it, and in the end the referee had to blow his whistle because I think he feared that both Jones and Moran are in a bit of trouble. That was certainly Kevin Moran has been in a bit of trouble a few moments earlier. In fact, you can see again what an enormous block challenge it was that was as two men went for that ball. Well, happily, it looks as though both are going to be okay. Well, when you say okay to go on, Kevin Moran looks as though he's putting that right foot rather gingerly to the floor, and Chris Jones is okay. Good jump again by Macari, but an offside against Joe Jordan. Doesn't agree. Referee, yes, but it wasn't the referee, it was the linesman who had the flag up and said offside. Well, has he? Maybe he's given a free kick to Manchester United. Yes, he has. So it must have been a foul as Macari jumped for that ball. At any rate, it's a free kick. There's the Tottenham ball. Ardiles, Villa and Hoddle. There's the man behind the wall, Milja Alexic. And over the ball, McElroy and Wilkins. Wilkins playing it wide here for Grimes. And Hughton again doing well. Wilkins, not much room in there for him, and the ball still just in play, and a corner given. A good decision, that. No, that looked a good decision to me. I don't think Spurs were happy about it, but that looked the right decision. Well, let's see what happens now. McElroy coming right up in there. Wilkins with the corner for Manchester United. Deep towards Joe Jordan. McAllister's there. And another corner on the far side given away this time by Jerry Armstrong, and certainly no argument about that one. Still waiting for the ball to come out. In the last minute of the first half now, McElroy being watched by Tottenham's John Pratt there, and it'll be Mickey Thomas with this corner. Back nicely there by Coppell. Jimmy Nicholl hitting it in there. It might come anywhere. It coming from McElroy, but the flag is up. The flag was up for an offside against Sammy McElroy. Filio, Houghton. Nice, accurate play there by Tottenham, but now the ball in the possession of Martin Buchan. Into injury time at the end of the first half. There'll be a little bit time added on. We have one or two stoppages. Our dealers finding Villiers. Perryman. Chris Jones, the glancing header. Jerry Armstrong coming after it. Hoddle is lurking on this side as well as the whistle goes for half-time. And the side separated by a really superb goal scored by the Tottenham number 10, Glenn Hoddle. There's applause all around White Hart Lane for that Spurs first half performance that was brimful of confidence and good intentions. And as I say, I think Hoddle is probably the first man to admit that it was a superb piece of play by Ricky Villiers that laid on that goal for him. There's Villiers going off as well. So a good first half for Tottenham, showing all the confidence that's brought them their recent run of good results. Half-time score then here at White Hart Lane. Spurs 1, Manchester United 0. Welcome back to White Hart Lane then for the start of this second half, with Spurs, who are kicking off in white, leading by a goal to nil, and here's the man who scored it, Glenn Hoddle. And away we go. Hoddle now to Houghton. And Hoddle again very quickly in on the action. It's an interesting thing that we ought to say is that Spurs have not conceded a goal all season in the goal that they're defending at this moment at the Edmonton end. The goal with Milja Alexic in it at the moment. They have not conceded one this season at any time in league or cup. So can Alexic keep that rather remarkable record intact? Played back by Buchan. Perryman and Coppell right in there, and they haven't got it away yet because Mickey Thomas is in there with a backward header. The white shirts, though, were lining up to head that one away, and it comes for Hoddle, played here for Villiers. Pratt making a run to the left for him. Here's Hoddle again as Spurs go forward with our dealers on the far side, and Hoddle's pass that time cut out by Manchester United as McElroy finds Thomas. And now here's Coppell. Carved out so few clear openings this afternoon, Manchester United, but they're still in this one goal down. And here's McElroy with a chance maybe, and a goal by Macari. Well, they've had few chances, and in the end, when it came across, Macari was there from very close range. The first goal, in fact, that Spurs have conceded at that end all season, and it ties it up at Spurs 1, Manchester United 1. Lou Macari, the scorer. So the man who scored, Perryman. Houghton outside him. Ardiles finding Houghton. Trying to clear those United defenders to find Jerry Armstrong, and that's Ardiles with a shot that turned out to be not very far away. Not scored this season for Tottenham, Ardiles. Minutes to go. Moran for Manchester United. Offside against Joe Jordan. McAllister, Hoddle, Houghton. Back for McAllister again. There was a plunge there between Joe Jordan and McAllister that has left McAllister on the ground, and the crowd weren't happy with it, and it looks as though Alf Gray wasn't happy with it either. It looks as though a yellow card might be coming out. Colin Lee warming up for Tottenham, should McAllister not be able to continue. The need to bring on a striker, although of course Lee has also played as a defender in place of McAllister, doesn't arise. McAllister is going on. Lost a little bit of their touch and confidence in this second half of Tottenham, and they had such a good first half and so deserved to be in the lead. It's United who've shown a real dogged spirit and have kept at Spurs in this second half, and now Steve Perryman gets the yellow card, presumably for the challenge on Mickey Thomas. And I think that might well be a case that Alf Gray spoke quietly but quite sternly to Steve Perryman a couple of times quite early in the game. So it might be that cumulative effect. So 2 yellow cards now, Jordan and Perryman, and a free kick for Manchester United. Curled in there, and Alexi gathering it superbly there from Sammy McIlroy's free kick. 1-1 still, and 10 minutes to go. Ardiles all the way. No, in the end, Moran blocked the shot, and it fell nicely for Koppel, who's got Jordan up supporting him, but Spurs have got plenty back. Jordan's got to go on his own, and claimed an obstruction there by McAllister, but the referee wouldn't have any of it. And so Spurs can take it up again themselves, except that Perryman has hit it straight at Thomas, and Thomas is through. Perryman's mistake, will it be costly? No, it won't. Side netting. Well, that was a serious mistake there, and Thomas was suddenly through, but into the side netting. Armstrong, Pratt, and now Ashley Grimes for Manchester United. Macari, Grimes sticking out the long leg, just finding Joe Jordan, who was fractionally onside. Thomas trying to come in there, and Koppel with an open goal. 2-1 to Manchester United with 4 minutes left. Well, what a sickener for Tottenham, who had so much of the first half and have allowed Manchester United to come back in the second half. The ball worked down that left-hand side. Spurs always in a bit of trouble, and Koppel was the spare man, and all he had to do was keep his head and find a shot into an empty net. Spurs 1, Manchester United 2, Steve Koppel. 4 minutes to go. Well, can Spurs yet pull this game around their way once more? Hoddle, well, if anybody can, he can. Ardiles coming in, brought down, and a goal kick. The crowd thought for a moment that the referee was pointing to the penalty spot, but he was pointing from the goal kick and getting out of the way when Ardiles was brought down there. Tommy Kavanagh almost out there playing himself. But seconds remaining, and United showing a lot of good fighting qualities and the ability to get those 2 second-half goals that have turned a game their way. And my word, when you get one 4 minutes from the end, it doesn't really give Spurs a lot of time to mount any sort of pressure. Wilkins, the little chip coming in there. Alexic gathering it well before it came through to Macari. A long throw by him. To Villa, almost giving it away. In fact, giving it away to Koppel. Played back again for Macari. United now keeping Spurs under this pressure. A little dummy there by Wilkins, didn't quite carry. And now Ardiles. Surely this will be the last break now for Tottenham. To Hoddle, referee looking at his watch as he runs. Played through again if Ardiles can get there, but Moran was there instead for Manchester United. United fans willing Alf Gray to blow that whistle. Gary Bailey hitting it high once more. And there goes the final whistle. And it's a victory for Manchester United, having been a goal down. It's Steve Coppell who got the winner with just 4 minutes left. Lou Macari saluting the United fans who brought them level at 1-1 after Glenn Hoddle had scored that superb goal for Spurs that gave them such a well-deserved lead at half-time. Spurs will be regretting the things that went wrong in the second half when they really didn't play with the same sort of confidence that they'd shown in the first. And really the chances didn't come their way in the second half, and United it was who took it up and eventually won the game. So as the players come off, a final scoreline here then at White Hart Lane. It's Spurs 1, Manchester United 2. Well, that was Manchester United's first away win in 7 games. In fact, only their second this season away from Old Trafford. But it does keep them at the top of the First Division, 1 point ahead of Liverpool. And United's championship bid was one of the points I raised with their match winner, Steve Coppell. But first, what did Dave Sexton and Tommy Kavanagh have to say at half-time after United's unimpressive first half?
Well, basically, they just pulled us to bits.
Really?
Yeah, well, they realise our game is built on a solid foundation of work rate, and then we've got the players who can add flair. In the first half, we just weren't working at all, and it was just collapsing about our ears. Tottenham were playing right through us, and it was like tissue paper. And they told us, we first and foremost, we got to compete.
You got admirers, Manchester United, right around the world and right around this country as well, of course. I mean, do you feel in your bones that maybe this could be a big season for you and for United, so far as the Championship's concerned?
I think you got to be positive about it. We know that if we do win the Championship, it'll be a result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people. Like today, we have people like Kevin Moran coming in. He's done a great job for us. I think now we've got the squad capable of doing it. I think it's entirely up to ourselves whether we do.
But not such a happy after-match verdict from the Spurs manager Keith Birkinshaw. As you can imagine, he'd seen his side dominate the first half, only to fall away completely in the second. And the thing that particularly pained him was that Spurs gave away both goals that beat them at White Hart Lane.
Well, the first one, and I've got to blame Glenn a little bit here, Glenn Hoddle, because he tried a crossfield ball when he got people supporting him on that right side. And it was cut out and everybody's virtually struggling. We caught light with men and they go down that side, if you remember, and it's crossed in from the right flank and the ball's in the net.
Well, here's the crossfield ball that Keith was complaining about by Glenn Hoddle. You see it's cut out there by the acrobatics of Sammy McElroy, and we'll see him later in this move as United build it up now with Steve Coppell coming into the picture on the right-hand side. But there is certainly a question mark about whether or not this goal was offside, this equaliser of Manchester United's. As Jimmy Nicholl turns the ball in here now, McElroy, who started the move, is now right inside the Spurs box picking it up, and as he turns it across the face of that goal, we'll arrow Lou Macari across there. He seems to be at least level, maybe beyond the last Spurs defender. We can't see what's to the left of the picture, in fairness to the linesman and referee, but certainly a question mark as to whether or not that was offside. But let's return to the theme of Glenn Hoddle.
But isn't it the case maybe that when you've got a player of Glenn's ability in the side, that sometimes he doesn't look for the simple ball? Maybe that's one of his great qualities, isn't it?
It's a great quality that he can see these things, but it's the success of doing it or not doing it, and also the great players see the simple things. And I think that we've got to say that. After having a little bit of a go at Glenn, he's been terrific this season, and it's been one of his few mistakes.
But you're getting towards the top of the table, but you're not there at the moment. I mean, where do you as a manager see yourself that little bit short at the moment?
We're short of someone that's knocking the ball in more consistently, and Glenn, after saying that, Glenn is doing terrifically well from midfield. But I think up front we've got to get a bigger proportion of goals. If we could get that, then I think we'd be so much a better side.
Yes. I mean, Jerry Armstrong and Chris Jones battled away like nobody else today,
Yes,
really.
yes.
But I mean, if you're talking about somebody else into the side, I mean, that's a hell of a lot of money, isn't it, for a striker of this
Well, I
sort
don't know where you get one from, quite honestly. I've just been saying to the press out there that if somebody would point me in the direction of one that could score 25 goals a season, then that would be terrific.
But then you'd be looking for £1 million and more.
Would that buy somebody that would do it? I think prices have gone out of the window completely, and I don't think anybody's really worth what they're asking.
Another major talking point, along with the transfer fees, though, is the movement of some of our top players abroad.
In the short term, I can't see that we can do anything about it. If fees come down, then perhaps we're going to be able to pay a little bit more out, wages-wise. But I think the economic climate of the country at present doesn't allow us to do what the Germans are doing. But I think there's more and more players going to go on the continent, possibly go to Spain, and perhaps one or two to Italy, because I know that the Italians are now talking in these sort of terms. Two things: we either bring the fees for players down, which means we can give players more, or we put the admission money up, which would give us more money coming in. Anything other than that, I just can't see how we're going to keep players here.
No. And you say that already people have been sniffing around Glenn Hoddle from
Well,
abroad.
it was touch and go whether we kept Glenn.
Really?
This summer.
Really?
Yeah. It was as near as damn it to him leaving us.
For which country?
Germany.
Yeah.
And you can't blame players for doing it.
In fact, Keith Birkinshaw confirmed to me that Glenn Hoddle has now got a contract with Tottenham that keeps him with the club until the end of next season. Well, at this point, we're going to take a short break, but still to come, remember, Cambridge United against Queen's Park Rangers. Some brilliant action, I promise you, as Manchester City play Wolves. And then we should be looking at some of the things that you've been writing to me about as we look at your letters. That comes up after this. Welcome back to you. And now we feature Queen's Park Rangers, who began the weekend top of the second division with Tommy Docherty's busy time in the transfer market beginning to bring the best possible results for the club. Yesterday, Queen's Park Rangers went to Cambridge United, which was a game covered by Anglia Television with your commentator Jerry Harrison and QPR in the hoop shirts.
This is Barry Wallace playing at left back in place of Ian Gillard. And Cambridge have put the squeeze on them. Into space. There's Gibbons. Riley's in there. Can he turn? Oh, great effort by George Riley. Tremendous stuff. Unfortunately, whacked it straight at the goalkeeper. Stringer puts it forward. Up goes Roger Gibbons. Riley on the run, on the left foot. A lot of target. Unfortunately, hits the goalkeeper. In for Goddard. Bowles to Roda. Two in the middle are Hill and Allen. And now Goddard with a chance. Gracious me, that was inches over. And appeals from the Rangers players that surely must have been a corner. Goddard put in a position here where the angle is very difficult, but so close. Alan Bailey competing well there, and it's going to come to Gibbons. Free is Jamie Murray on the left-hand side, strong on his left foot, but is he been blocked out already? To Tommy O'Neill, in for George Riley, and it's going to come for Spriggs. It's in. It hit Hazel and went in. The goalkeeper left completely beaten. Spriggs left with much too much room. And if anybody deserved a goal in this game, it's Steve Spriggs. Well, when the ball is played out to the left, Jamie Murray seems to be blocked out. Comes back into the middle. A nice little chip forward by Tommy O'Neill. A flick on, and suddenly Spriggs is left with a very, very big target. Whacks it, and it hits Hazel, and it's in. Room for Clive Allen. No one picked him up there. Can he get a return from Bowles? Hill has gone forward. Bowles with a bit of room here. Bowles a chip. Oh, it's a good goal. Didn't hit it absolutely perfectly, but it was good enough to beat goalkeeper Webster. Well, he doesn't get too many goals, Stan Bowles, and certainly not too many from outside the area, and the left foot's the favourite. But when the ball comes to him here, obviously players running off looking for a pass, and that's what Cambridge expected. And he bears down on goal. On the right foot, doesn't look that dangerous, but now the goalkeeper's off his line, and it's over his arm and head and into the back of the net. Biley and Wicks can't get there. Gibbons, George Riley's going to get it. No! How did he miss that? Wicks this time getting it away. But that seemed slow motion, the event itself. As it comes forward for George Riley, thanks to Gibbons battling. Now it's against the goalkeeper and away by Wicks. Spriggs forward for Jamie Murray to get into that hole. He's almost got there. Oh, it's a fantastic effort. I didn't think that was possible. Coming through from what appeared to be his own goal line. A fantastic sprint. Into the hole by Spriggs. Jamie Murray battling with Hazel, and the left foot in off the post. Roeder's kick, 2-1 with just over a minute to go, and the goalkeeper's caught. A goal's given. No. Well, that seemed just enough when the ball was put in the middle and Wicks was in there with a head. But a push, says the referee. And he's absolutely adamant about it.
Well, as Glenn Roeder takes this kick in the last minute of the game, I think if there was a push, it was on the goalkeeper, or the fact that he was impeded. Watch the goalkeeper coming out now. And it could well have been that there was a Rangers player round the back there impeding the possibility of him jumping, although it is problematical, that. But what happens to the ball here? In fact, it hits the base of the post and goes along the goal line as Malcolm Webster, the Cambridge goalkeeper, just scrambles it away. So close there for QPR. But that was a defeat that knocks Queen's Park Rangers off the top of the second division table. And look, it's their West London neighbours, Chelsea, who now take their place. 10 wins out of the last 12 games now for Chelsea. Well done. But now it's time to look at your letters, and there seemed to be a fresh bagful every day, I must say, this week, concerning one particular incident in last week's Everton versus Spurs game at Goodison Park. And I think we were wrong not to refer to it ourselves on the programme. Tony Long of 11 Trelawney Estate, Madron, Penzance in Cornwall, and 12-year-old Mervyn Parker of 11 Fisherwick Gardens, Ballymena, County Antrim in Northern Ireland. Richard Schumann of 27 Ravenscroft Avenue, Wembley in Middlesex, were just three of literally hundreds of you who spotted the foul by Everton's Trevor Ross on a Spurs defender, Gordon Smith in fact. And they all wonder if the Everton goal that came from that move should in fact have been disallowed. This is the moment you were talking about. Spurs offside track in fact, getting him into a bit of trouble here. as they were played on there were Everton. Now watch the two players on the right of the picture, the number 6 Trevor Ross and the number 5 Gordon Smith, as they're both trying to get to an advantageous position there in that penalty area. Just look at Trevor Ross there having a whack, or it appears to be having a whack at Gordon Smith, and I think if the referee had seen that, he may well have disallowed that particular goal. Referee can't see everything, and that was an instant off the ball, and I don't blame him in the least for not having seen it. But there we are, Spurs having none of the luck. Our last game today, though, produced some sparkling football and all the goals you would want, in fact, as Manchester City, yes, face Wolverhampton Wanderers at Main Road, where Wolves, in fact, have not won on their last 15 visits. The pictures come from Granada Television. Your commentators, Gerald Sinstadt, with Manchester City in the lighter strip.
Jeff Palmer to Berry. Floodlights on now. Game less than 20 minutes old, and Andy Gray now free. 1-0. Long ball works for Wolves. Andy Gray makes it as Kate lost it, and the ball through Corrigan's legs for 1-0, and that's 17 minutes of the first half gone. Hughes to take the free kick. It's aimed towards Richards, but Caton rose above him. Jeff Palmer back in towards Gray, on for Hibbett, and it needed a big jump by Joe Corrigan. And once again it was Hibbett who got into the space. The ball lofted over, the header by Gray, and nobody had seen Hibbett coming again. Booth. Stefanovic. By Hughes, it's come to Caton. Oh, that was a good effort! Tommy Caton, 3 inches from his first goal. Stefanovic. Tommy Caton really had a go there, and what a good go it was. He's 30 yards out with that, and 3 inches out at the end of it. Now here's Tommy Caton back on the ball in his own half. Cleared by Hughes. Richards robbed by Daly. Daly has found Palmer. Roger Palmer put it over under pressure. Really probing ball here from Daly's left foot. Palmer in space, took it down on his thigh. Hughes was coming in, but the shot had already gone, and gone too high. Hughes, Daly forward, Roger Palmer going for it, and he slipped it in. Well, not unlike the goal at the other end. Daly playing the early ball, and Palmer profiting from it very well indeed, even though Bradshaw had come out beyond his penalty area. Palmer, a good bit of skill. Carr. Caton beating Richards. Hibbett to Jeff Palmer. Hughes has lost it to Dana. Berry to Thomas. Gray. And Gray's turn poses problems for Booth. Tackle back, half won the ball, but it's Carr to Thomas, and 2 in the middle. And a great save, but Hibbett has got it on the second attempt. The man who really deserved a goal. Thomas coming in, the cross misses out Gray and Richards. Hibbett lets go, Corrigan saves, and Hibbett nods in the rebound. Donachie. It's aimed towards Bennett, but it fell between him and Henry. Bennett. towards Dana's head, but Berry got it away. Now Daly not allowed a gap to shoot through. Donachie. That's easy for Hughes. Oh, no, it's not. It's a goal. No, it's turned wide by Bradshaw. Bennett came in hard on that after Hughes had taken it down on his chest. Didn't control it. And Bennett got the shot away, and it was just with the seat of his pants that the goalkeeper saved. Harassed by Daniel. Thomas obstructed by Daly. Wolves making something out of nothing there simply because of the harassing that their midfield men are prepared to do. Peter Daniel it was coming through that time, but all three of them, Hibbett, Daniel and Carr, have been very sharp after the ball. Parkin. Thomas, first time cross, header by Caton, it's come to Daniel, and he scored! 3-1 to Wolves. Cross headed out by Caton, but Daniel thrashing it back through the penalty area, and that makes it 3-1. A minute plus added on time to go. Cross aimed towards Bennett. Dana now. Well, what a soft goal it turned out to be. I wonder if he really intended it like that. The cross comes in, Bennett does the work with his chest, and then Dana takes it down with one foot, and I think, yes, give him credit, just side-footed and under the goalkeeper.
And it finished 3-2 for Wolves, and that's it for this week. Thanks again for being with us, though. And we certainly had a match of contrasts at Tottenham yesterday. Spurs so good in the first half, so poor in the second. Manchester United just the reverse. And then a brilliant goal by Hoddle to start the day, a soft one by Koppel to finish it off, that kept United at the top.
Jones. Ricky Villa again. That's a good ball played for Hoddle. And a beautiful goal by Hoddle. Grimes sticking out the long leg, just finding Joe Jordan, who was fractionally onside. Thomas trying to come in there, and Koppel with an open goal. 2-1 to